What's up, y'all? It's TyLoTheGentleman's girlfriend. And for those of y'all who want a piece of One Piece, welcome to Wano Piece.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy TyLoTheGentleman, and
What happened at first was
my girlfriend already did the intro. So let's just get right into it. Before we even start this video, I want to give a shout out to the Wano Piece Pirate Crew. If you want to join the Wano Piece Pirate Crew, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button below.
do it! Just do it!
Be sure to follow me on Wano_Piece on Instagram for Wano Piece memes, One Piece memes, and updates on the channel. This week we are recapping chapters 261 through 270. When we last left off, Luffy and Waipa were getting into battle. And now, just before Luffy was about to fight Waipa again, he fell through some sort of cave, which was like underground cave. So now he's stuck in there. Next, we switch to a scene where Genbou is facing off against Commander Yama. They're two very hefty fellows, to say the least. Genbou fires off the cannon at Yama. Yama kicks the cannonball back into his chest, causing Genbou to fly into a tree. And then after this, he defeats Genbou with one move. Commander Yama has a bunch of dials wrapped around him. So if he comes and hits you, it's over for real. All he has to do is crash into you and it's over. Now, Nico Robin mentions there being a blank decade. This has to be important. As she's walking around these ruins, she mentions there being a blank decade. And it has to be important. Why else would they give us a history buff? Why else would the author give us a history buff just as a gift?
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
A person that was our enemy in previous seasons, previous arcs, is now a history buff that as we walk through the story, she just gives us new information. This is clutch. This is almost as good as Pokemon when they had the Pokédex. Now we know so much about what's going on in the world of One Piece just because Nico Robin is thinking out loud. Now, Nico Robin ends up running into Yama and they have a battle. Well, she has to lure him away from the ruins. And then from there, she lets him have it. This guy comes flying at her and she uses her hand technique. You know how she puts her hands everywhere? She flips his dials that are on his belt, covers his eyes, and makes him run into a tree while smashing the dials against himself.
George of the jungle. Watch out for that tree.
And I thought this was enough to defeat him. But after that, she picks him up and throws him off a cliff and holds him so he falls on his head. Now Nico Robin eventually finds the Golden City by going down a level to the lower levels below the clouds, which is pretty cool. It's actually, the Golden City is actually within the cloud. Kotori and Hotori are twins of Sasori, so they're all triplets, and they run into GanFall, Nami, and also Usopp and Sanji. They're down, beat up because of Enel. Now, what happens is GanFall and Nami defeat these two twins. GanFall takes out one of them, then he tells Nami to get his gauntlet. Nami grabs his gauntlet, climbs up on top of the dude, puts the dial in his face, and lets it rip in his face. Lets an impact dial rip in his face. And I have one thing to say. Do not mess with the Lady Straw Hats. And that's how it's gotta be, man. Defend your friends, but don't mess with the Lady Straw Hats. One thing I thought was funny about this battle though is they had a flavor dial. And they stored a fart in it. And they let it rip right in Nami's face, and I thought that was the most funniest, disrespectful thing in the world. Like, you're in the middle of a heated fight to the death type battle, and somebody just lets a fart out in your face.
Got him!
So next we have Priest Gadetsu versus Chopper. Now Chopper meets up with this guy. The guy scares him at first, Gadetsu, but he keeps rolling his eyes backwards. And at first when you see it, it looks kind of cool. It's like, oh snap, his eyes are backwards, he must be getting more powerful. But then we find out his eyes just do that sometimes. He thought that Chopper was invisible because he couldn't see him.
Bruh.
He also tries to get Chopper caught in the trap and gets caught in the trap his own self and starts sinking. And it's just like, bro, I'm sick of this guy. I'm sick of Gedetsu. He's the worst. He's dumb. Even Chopper asks, is this guy an idiot?
He's an ass. And he's dumb. He's a dumbass.
Chopper uses a rumble ball and finds out this guy's weakness, takes off his shoe, so the guy blasts up trying to use this dial or whatever under his shoes and ends up flailing around all crazy, and Chopper puts the whooping on him in the sky.
How would you like your keen eye to watch my sure foot kick your smart ass?
Dumbass!
And that's the end of that guy. Chopper really does everything he can to be a part of this group, to hold his own, which I really like. A good friend group is a group where everybody builds on everybody. Everybody brings something to the table and everybody gives something and not just takes. Everybody on the Straw Hat Pirate crew gives something. They don't just come and take. This was also the day that Chopper decided in himself that he was going to be a pirate starting from today. That battle, the battle against Gedetsu the Priest, was the battle that he decided he was going to be a pirate. So, he's Pirate Chopper now.
Hey, look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
We learned something about Enel. Enel has taken one of the most powerful devil fruits, the Goro fruit from the Logia family. Now this family of devil fruits are the strongest. You actually become like whatever the element is, you become that. So that's why it was so hard to defeat Crocodile, and that's why Enel can pop up anywhere at any time so fast, because he actually is thunder. He gave Kamakiri, he gave him 5 minutes to hit him. And Kamakiri went straight for his head with the spear, and then all of a sudden he got shocked. You see him just kind of shaking. He got shocked and burnt because he touched thunder, or he touched lightning, however you want to say it. After this, he defeats Kamakiri by letting him have 1,000,000 volts. Like, dang.
That's a lot of damage.
How do you think they give you that much in an electric chair? Now, the reason Nami was being so rude to Aisa, I'm not really sure, probably because of her childhood or whatever, but Aisa, the way they linked up is because Aisa led Konis and her father to the Straw Hat Pirate ship, right? Because Aisa just wanted to help somehow, some way, because she has the gift of mantra. She can hear things. She keeps hearing people's voices disappear. She just wants to help in some way. She can't just sit by and let these voices disappear anymore. So now we have this one battle where it's Waipa versus Zoro versus a giant snake versus Holy the dog, a giant dog who is controlled by the priest, and we have GanFall. Now all this stuff is going on, and I'm like, bro, this is not Super Smash Brothers. I'm tired of all these Battle Royale style fights. I want to see one-on-one, two-on-two, maybe at most, but one-on-one. Let me see what's going on. Let me see who's really this, who's really about that life. Why do we have to see 4 people fighting 4 people? Especially when people are fighting for the same thing. Why? Now one thing I would say is you gotta give Waipa props. Like Waipa dips and dodges punches and kicks and everything and whatever's coming at him with a rocket launcher on his shoulder.
No more training do you require. Already know you. That's what you need.
How much training do you have to go to be able to dip and dodge? That will come in handy on Call of Duty, to be able to dip, dodge, and fire a rocket launcher. Just something to think about. Alm's dog, Holy, is actually trained in martial arts. It's kind of crazy. He runs up to Zoro with his teeth all out, like, ah! He was worried about the teeth at first, then he just straight cocks back and throws a punch. Like, wait, did that dog just throw a punch at me? Zoro's like, whoa! Like, can you imagine? That's a good technique. I might use that in a street fight. I might run up to the person like, ah! And then swing. But needless to say, the Grand Line is wild. I was surprised that a dog could stand up on his hind legs and fight like that. But I was also surprised when a dog could turn into a gun in the last arc. So, it's the Grand Line. I shouldn't be surprised by anything at this point, right? Now, Alm's katana, his sword, has a dowel built into the hilt. and it makes it so when he slices, it'll follow you wherever you are. That's why he was able to slice Chopper from far away. Chopper's out of the battle right now. Luffy has been stuck in this cave since earlier when he fought Waipa. So he's been stuck in this cave this whole time. Now, vsGanFall, Nami, Konis, her father, Aisa, they all come across the battlefield and everybody's like, what? You get away from her, get away from Aisa, you get away from Nami, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's trying to just going off. Battle Royale style fight still, everybody's angry. Then this giant snake that's been in the battle this whole time doing little stupid stuff eats all of them. Eats Aisa, vsGanFall, Nami, Konis, and her father. And we come to find out that Luffy hasn't been in the cave this whole time. He's actually been in the belly of the snake. So now Luffy meets up with them and they're all in the belly of the snake, trying to figure out how to get out. Enel actually pops up when Laki, she goes and tells, she runs to the Battle Royale battle that's actually barbed wired away. No one can get into it. And she yells through the fence and says to Waipa, hey, we can't defeat Enel because of what he did to Kamakiri and 1,000 Vaults. He's unstoppable, he's invincible, there's nothing we can do. And when she says Enel pops up, because he can hear because of the mantra. He pops up, says, you called me, all creepy like, and then just touches her. Boom, she's done. So now, Waipa's really mad. All his friends are getting beat up, getting thousands, millions of vaults.
Don't tase me, bro. I didn't do anything.
That's where this episode ends, man. It's pretty rough. It's looking rough for our heroes. It's looking rough for, the Shandians. Not sure, man. But there's more One Piece, so we're gonna find out next week what happens. Let me catch you guys up on the short comics. So, there's not really much to report except Waipa is supposed to marry Miss Universe. I hope that goes well for him. I hope he's on a better start. And he becomes world famous again because of the stamp of his face on all the toys. Now, if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of these 10 chapters. Don't forget to join the Wano Piece Pirate Crew by hitting that subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this one. Peace.